All right. Looks to me like we gathered critical mass in the audience. I hope you had a good coffee break, that your brain is reinvigorated, and that you are ready to join us and discuss the second topic for today. This panel is titled What and How to Manufacture Under Conditions of Current Threats. My name is Bruno Lete. I'm a senior fellow with the German Marshall Fund based in Brussels. First of all, let me congratulate the organizers of the conference, especially Oksana and Marta. I think you did a terrific job here. And you know, we know each other for a long time. You are building discussion platforms, but also I think this is an important event to connect Ukrainian stakeholders also with transatlantic actors. And given this, we at the German Marshall Fund are very happy to be a partner of this conference. So for you that do not know the German Marshall Funds, unlike the name, we are not German. Actually, GMF is totally American. We have our headquarters in Washington, D.C., and we also have 7 offices in Europe, which makes us the largest American policy presence on this side of the Atlantic. So this is, in a nutshell, who we are. Getting back to today's topic, I think the previous panel was actually quite a good introduction to identify what's going on, what are the gaps, what are the threats. Now we need to seek solutions. I hope that our panel can concentrate on that. Effective security also means effective industrial complex. And this industry, of course, always has to be in sync with threats. And the threats are different nowadays. We have conventional threats, so we still need the tanks, the frigates, the jet fighters, but we also face nonlinear threats. So we are looking at cyber and hybrid, which means we also need to invest in robotics, automatization, artificial intelligence. All these things need to be combined. Adaptation is essential. Now, Ukraine, of course, has adapted in a sense, but adaptation has to be continuous. We cannot stop doing that. So the public and the private sector need to be on the same line of understanding what the threats are. So what are the questions that we want to explore today? I would say, which capabilities do we need to produce? Which are the capabilities we no longer need to produce? And in which domains we need to prioritize? Is it cyber? Is it land? Is it sea? That's one. 2, we also need to talk a little bit about money. Which research and development priorities should we look at? Not only when it comes to products, but I think it's also important to talk about supply chains, an essential part of the defense industry. And last but not least, perhaps we can also talk for a moment what Ukraine can do, but also what the partners of Ukraine can do and how they can help Ukraine. I think, for instance, about the United States, Europe, or NATO. Are there partnerships possible there? Fortunately for myself, I do not need to answer these difficult questions. I have an excellent panel of experts and practitioners here. I'll just introduce them very quickly. First of all, we have Taras Shmut, founder of the Ukrainian military portal. Thank you very much for being with us. We have Ruslan Zalilov, I hope I pronounced the name correctly, is the chairman of the board of the Ukrainian Association of Manufacturers of Arms and Military Equipment of Ukraine. Thank you very much for being with us. And last but not least, Valentin Badrak, director of the Center for Army Conversion and Disarmament Studies. So, gentlemen, we have about 1 hour to talk a lot about these questions. I propose that we are brief in our remarks, that we go to the points. I also hope that you, the audience, can participate. We want to make this a dynamic, interactive exercise. So please be with us, think with us, and don't hesitate to get involved in this discussion. So let me perhaps start with you, Taras. What is your view on the topic of today? What would you have as straightforward thoughts?
Доброго дня всім присутнім.
Good
Дякую за запрошення
afternoon,
і дякую
everybody.
попередній
Thank
панелі
you
за
for
досить
the question
змістовну
and
і
thank
конструктивну
you
розмову. В якійсь мірі
for
я
the
продовжую
previous panel. Actually,
ті
I'm
лінії,
going
які
to
були вже озвучені
continue the
проговорені.
trends that
Тема
have been
нашого
discussed already.
панелі
So the
вчора
topic of our panel, what should be produced and how it should be produced exactly. Actually, what should be produced? Several issues, our attitude, our opinion. First of all, we should produce the products required by the customer. The key customer is Ukrainian military and other law enforcement organizations. So industry should be based on the needs of army. It should be based on the needs of the customer. Second, what can we sell at the worldwide market? We have splendid examples of governmental and non-governmental facilities that have big contracts and successful cases. They dominate over Russian and European manufacturers. They occupy new positions and their contracts top 10,000s of products. Moreover, but still we have facilities that are unsuccessful for many years and they are not changing anything. They are not running any optimization or production of a new product. One of the leaders, the construction bureau Luch, that managed to maintain its sector, and now it is not only maintaining its potential but demonstrating growth. It is the leader of Ukrainian defense complex. It is producing anti-tank missiles and guided missiles, anti-vessel complexes. That is also demonstrating progress in development of unmanned aircrafts. It is exploring new fields and opening new opportunities for Ukraine. Its main customers are abroad and it's receiving its money from abroad. Based on powerful sectors, we should develop new opportunities as the Luch does. The state should not limit the private business. The private companies are flexible and fast. They are more adaptive. Since 2014, they are demonstrating growth. Private companies that have appeared in years 14 to 16, they are already fighting for Asia and European markets. They are small, they are effective, they have no dozens of manufacturers and they are not signing dozens of memorandums yearly without producing anything.